Hey guys, just a quick tour of my Reef sump area and specifically the pH control. So, got a Milwaukee pH controller here, love it. I have it set to activate at 8.38, so just under 8.4, and it controls two things. First is it switches on or off a motorized ball valve up here to my CO2 scrubber that is on my Reef Octopus skimmer. It's the classic 150 external. So I have the neck skimmer on it. Rather than running the CO2 off the top, I ran it through the collection cup that's sealed with a float in it. So if it floods or if it's full, it simply kicks off the float switch, stops the pump, I can change it, and I have it mounted up way high so not too much moisture goes into the CO2 media, and very unlikely for it to flood. So it runs in the bottom. I bypass the side over here. That way, if moisture does collect, it simply falls back down into the collection cup and no calc will get into your tank. The exit here runs down to the Y off the motorized ball pass, and then this runs back into the skimmer venturi intake. Works great. I'm super happy with it. The skimmer's a champ. It's been skimming like crazy. Real happy with running the CO2 skimmer through the collection cup because it's only one thing to empty. I don't have a separate container to collect the moisture. So you can see there's a lot of moisture in the line and it keeps the media nice and wet. I use cheaper non-color changing media on the bottom and then a little bit of ice cap media on the top to save money, and all I care about is when the top's done because I know I need to throw it out and replace it. So easy peasy. The probe for the controller is right here, and then I have three floats in my sump. Two of them are just one's a backup for my freshwater top off. Then I have my dosing here. On the freshwater top off, that little container in the back is probably about 3 gallons, and it has a mechanical float that shuts off RO water coming into it. It's on a flow restrictor, so it fills very slowly, and it also has a relay with a float in there on a solenoid valve, so very unlikely that will overfill. There's 3 little motors in the freshwater tank. One is on a relay just to the lower freshwater float. So if the water gets low, kicks on the relay for the motor and pumps just fresh water in on this line right here. If the pH is lower than my set point, the Kalk pump kicks on at the higher float. So it'll kick in before the freshwater float. So that motor runs into here, fills, and then I have a vacuum break so it drains real clean like tea into the sump, and then when the freshwater runs, it's on top of that so it cleans off any calc buildup on there. Pretty happy with it. The relays for the calc make sure the calc reactor will not run or fill unless all 4 conditions are met. Condition 1 is the float in the sump. Condition 2 is I have a pH controller that energizes one of the relays, and then it's set to normally closed. So it breaks the trigger to the relay pump, the relay for the calc pump. And then the third thing is I have some smart thing plugs that are timed to turn on the stir bar in the ice cap reactor every 4 hours for 1 minute. In SmartThings app, I have it set to turn on another smart plug and then turn it off in 45 minutes. That second plug is on another relay that bypasses it, so it can't run for 45 minutes from the time it stirs for 1 minute every 4 hours. And then the third thing is I have the normally off for the freshwater running through to the calc, so they can't run at the same time. So if the freshwater top-off pump kicks in, it turns off the calc pump. Here's the count pictures. Here's the diagram for the relays. So if the fresh is on, it turns off the calc, and that way if you have a high water loss, it won't let it fill the sump with calc water. So been pretty good. It holds my pH pretty stable, hitting around 8.2 to 8.3 pretty reliably. I still dose a little bit of soda ash and calc to keep up. My alkalinity has been holding around 8.7, just under 9. I haven't seen a big spike. Things have been pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with the setup so far, but I'm always tweaking it. Alright, post any questions you have. Appreciate your time.